Hello, everybody. How are you? Good, good. So, that's it. A little louder. Oh, is that good? Can you all can hear me? All right. Thank you very much. So this is the second workshop for Sunflower. So, hopefully you're all here for that. Being the second workshop, we have a little bit more detail on the park for you guys to look at, some things that we want to discuss with you to get you guys' input on it. So we go to the next phase of the actual design drawings, that we have as much input from you as possible. I'm Rick Hendricks. I'm with Integra Planning Landscape Architecture. I'm a principal with the firm. I have Olga Metz, our senior landscape designer, here today as well. And I think, most of you know Damien, the city manager, and Ashley, the recreation manager. So we're all here today to present to you, like I said, Sunflower Park, still concept stage, but again, wanted to get your input on it. So we have two options, a lot of options with play equipment, a lot of different options with seating arrangements and things like that. So we'll cover all that with you today and get your input. Okay. At any time, feel free to ask questions. Okay. House cleaning, restrooms, men, women, drinking fountain on the hallway there. Yeah. Not that you guys have to clean house. So this all began back in 2019 with the parks master plan that was done for the city. That was all the parks. But these are some of the things that came out during the 2019 workshops back in 2019. For Sunflower Park in specific, so it was, add more benches, picnic tables, playground structure, circulation paths, bike racks, additional lighting, trash recycle, formal meditation garden, and update landscape. So pretty much we've covered all those things in our concepts for you guys. So we're excited to kind of go over those with you. Go ahead, Ashley. Oh, sorry. From the first work, so we had initial workshop 2 to get your kind of feedback, again, to bring these concept drawings to a little bit more life for you guys. And these were some of the top things that came out of not only the in-person workshop, but also the survey that was put online that we got responses back from the citizens of Cotati. So some additional things that came out was preserving the greenery. This was more particular around maybe where we are saying in the meditation garden area, but also the center lawn area to preserve that and keep that keep the color palette for the new elements neutral, so nothing too outlandish, bright, or so you'll see at least in the play equipment and the city standard site amenities are pretty neutral colors. So, preserve the family and neighborhood character of the park. Again, we're not changing too much. We're just kind of adding kind of the things that came out from 2019. And really it's more of an update to the park than like redoing the whole park. So add lighting. So we are going to be, part of it will be replacing the lighting that's there. It's just not adequate. And it's not up to current codes and standards. So it's going to change a little bit from right now. That's mostly post top. So it's the taller ones. We're going to be doing the lower bollard lights. Example is one right out front there. If you guys are familiar with the new Cotati Park, it's going to be similar to that. So the one nice thing with these new ones, they'll have cutoffs so we can control where the light is going. They're, won't be shining up in there. We can put louvers on them, and also like the ones at Cotati have dimmers on them, so we can control the amount of light coming out of them. So a lot of new technology and lighting that's been fantastic. So keep it open, multi-use areas. So again, we're trying to create spaces that can be used for different events or elements within the park. We call it a meditation area, but again, it could just be a gathering area as well. So open lines of sight. We've tried to keep very open lines of sight from East Cotati into the park. Again, we're always conscious of what goes on in parks after dark. So being able to have the police to be able to drive by or stop by and be able to have clear lines of sight helps out. It also helps out even from a standpoint of discouraging it in the first place, because they know they can't hide in those areas. With that too, with the plant material, it'll be, again, similar to Cotati. We'll be doing low growing plant material, nothing too high, no areas to hide behind or, create habitat behind. So again, keeping that open sight line into the park to maintain the safety of it. Preserve the smaller lawn area. That was the meditation area, which we have done. So, okay. So today, again, is meeting with you guys, getting your input to take this to the next level. We'll go over each concept a little bit more detail, input on like the overall. We're going to do the overall one at the end though, so we'll go through each little bit and then let you guys kind of see which one you like the best out of it. Or we'll be taking notes as well if there's like things you like in one, but you prefer one option, but you like that out of the other one. So we'll take some notes on that as well. Like I said, we have a lot of play area options as well. So we'll go over those with you. And then the seating area for the general park. I will let you know, like the meditation area, the layout's pretty similar. It's more how the seating arrangement is within it and things like that. So we'll go over that in a little bit more detail. Okay, so like I guess I kind of covered that. New play area, the seating area, meditation area. We kind of covered lighting, and then the updated landscape. So option one, and just so when we kind of get done through everything, we'll have you guys go up and kind of look at them closer. We have some dots too for you guys to put on preference ones that you like. But just for reference of the plans that are up on the wall, left to right. So option one is on the top, option two is on the bottom. Okay, so as we go through the PowerPoint presentation, hopefully you can kind of see the where we're at on it. So option one, and I'll cover kind of the bigger picture differences between the two, is mainly the play area. So the play area on option one is smaller. It's a lot closer to what we had in the 2019 concept. It's about 1,600 square feet. Maybe reference on that again, if you guys are familiar with Cotati Park, it would be about the size of the smaller area, the 2 to 5 area. So just for reference, if you guys are trying to visualize the size on that, a little bit of reference too is, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the restroom size, so you can kind of figure out how big that is based on the restroom, because that is to scale. Okay. The other options are really the seating areas. So in this option one, we included some bench areas to the west of the restroom building. And then there's also picnic areas kind of to the north of the tennis courts. And then we have bench seating kind of throughout the bench seating a little bit to the north of the play area. And then in the meditation area, we have like a seat wall area in there. So yeah, why don't you go to option two. Option two, again, the bigger difference is the size of the play area. This one, we did expand it a little bit more than what we did in 2019. And the reason we did that was, again, we were trying to get you guys' input. The play area on the smaller side would be a 2 to 12 play area. Typically, what's more common is separating 2 to 5 and 5 to 12-year-olds with 2 separate, just because of the skills and play skill level that they have or needs that they have. So this one's a little bit larger, and we can separate a little bit of the play equipment in that realm. This one's about 2,700 square feet. Again, about the size of the 5 to 12 at Cotati Park. Okay, so the larger one out of that. And this one, we put all the picnic around the tennis court. So there's not really picnic around the play area, but there are bench seatings again to the north of the play area. We do have additional, I forgot to mention, on both ones, we have additional water fountains. There'll be 2 of them, one by the play area, one by the tennis courts. Those will have bottle fillers. I think we're doing a dog bowl on one of them. And then that'll be, regardless of what option, those will be in there. Yeah. Yeah, so the question is there on either option, is there a path running along which would be the east side of the tennis court area? And yes, there is. There'd be a additional path. There's not one there right now, so that would be an additional path. The sidewalk, the curvilinear sidewalk on the bottom there, that's an existing sidewalk. We're not touching that, or the landscape adjacent to East Cotati Road. So that area we're not touching because it's new. Is fairly new. But for circulation purposes, we felt making that connection. There's also an additional gate into the tennis courts on that south side. So I don't know if it gets used that much, but it is there. So yeah, in both options, there is a pathway. They're very similar on that. So it's kind of a circular path system throughout the park. Okay, so that's kind of the major. We'll come back to it at the end once we go through each individual area, the play area, and then the seating areas as well. Next slide. So again, this is the small play area, option 1, about 1,600 square feet. Very similar to what we did in the 2019 concept. It's a little bit larger because we wanted to add at least one more little element in there instead of just one big or one composite feature. So you'll see the options that we've come up with on those. So go ahead and yeah. So the first one will be option 1A. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll cover that in a minute. Stuck. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So 1A is a post and platform kind of structure. It has, on this one, we've got, a double slide. It's a little bit hard to see from here, but we'll have you come up later on. Some of the elements, though, are a double slide. It's got like a glide slide, a lot of different climber elements. You can kind of see that one in the center picture. It's kind of a turning climbing apparatus there. A belt bridge, so it's kind of a moving bridge. So again, stability and balance, trying to bring in different elements. Ladders, so these are more overhang, maybe more like typical like a monkey bar, but they call them ladders. Again, upper body strength, trying to include elements that work out the different parts of the body. A slider, and then a spinner. You can see the spinner in the bottom left-hand corner of the top image fairly well. I think there's the exact same one at Cotati Park, and it gets used pretty well. So, and they do have different ones of that as well. One of the things that came out of the previous meeting I forgot to mention was there was kind of almost an overall consensus of having it more nature-based or garden-based based on the name, the Sunflower Park. We had some other options, but by far that kind of nature flower. So within all of these options too, some of the panels that will be part of it will be nature-based, whether it's about insects or birds or flowers or things like that. So trying to tie it all into kind of the name of the park as well. Option 2, I know it looks very similar, but it still has the double glide, but this one has like a geo climber, which is the top image there on the right. It's more like a climbing panel. There's like 3 panels on it. Again, it gives a variety of skill levels and opportunities because of the 3 different panels on it. Again, bringing nature into it. They have the bee steppers. So these are just like stepping pods that are raised at different heights in the shape of a bee. So, which is kind of cool, and again, it's about balance on that. Nature panels that I mentioned, additional climbers, and then a saddle spinner, which is that inserted image. So it's instead of standing on it, it's actually one that you kind of sit in, and it spins around. So, okay. Option 1C, and just to let you know, we did reach out we wanted to, again, try to get diversity in what we were showing you. So we did reach out to more than one vendor of play equipment. So on this one, yeah, let's doesn't look right, but 1C, again, nature-based, but it has a double slide, a spiral slide that goes down, climbers. This one's got a little bit more of like a rope wall. Again, nature panels, a solid bridge and tunnel through theirs, and then rock steppers, similar to the bees, but they're in the shape of rocks. Next one, Ashley. 1D, this one has what's called a chute slide. So the center image is probably the best one. It's just kind of wraps around down to the end, and then you can go back up. So it's kind of a continuous kind of loop system for the kids to play on. A curved slide is, I think, more relevant in the top one. It's kind of more of an S. Nature panels. This is more of like a treehouse theme. It does have the overhead ladders and a spinner, which you can see in the top image, bottom left-hand corner of the top image. So those are 4 different options for one. So there's a lot in there. Again, when we go up to the board, we have them all up there. Those are kind of the center images up on the board. There may be some things you like in one versus the other, and that's what we'll be up there with you to discuss which ones you're kind of liking or what options might be available on that. So we're going to do the same thing, kind of option 2, the larger area. Yeah, so I guess yeah, if there's anybody online, they would be voting on this. We'll do your guys' at the end. So again, if you can, just vote for option 1A, 1B, 1C, or 1D, and you can just type that in the comments area, right? And any other additional comments that you may have. Ease the sitting area. We'll get to that. Yeah. So the larger play area, again, about 2,700 square feet. And again, you can kind of see the scale of it based on the restroom building. And again, if Kotati Park is kind of about the same size as the larger 5 to 12 area. So most of these have very similar things to them, but In this one, because of the larger area, we have actually two composite structures, a 2 to 5 and a 5 to 12, a double slide, spiral slide, climbers. This one has the flower steppers, the ladder or grab bars again. The other, I think maybe more unique thing on this one is the group swing. We do have one, there is one out at Cotati. It does get used pretty well. It's nice because more than one child can be on it at a time. So it's more inclusionary a piece of equipment. And then again, nature panels on it. To be again separate, we were able to separate 2 to 5 and 5 to 12 composite structure, including a double slide, single slide, climbers, flower steppers, nature panels. This one has a what do you call it? A twister climbing apparatus. Yeah. And then, like I said, this one has the group spinner. So again, looking more for inclusionary, more than one kid being able to use the equipment. To see, again, two structures, 2 to 5, 5 to 12. This one has a lot of slides to it, so those are always popular. So a double slide, spiral slide, and then additional slides on the 5 to double slide. It looks like I'm having 5 to 12. Climbers. This one has the shade structure over the top as well. A lot of the other ones have more of the flower petals. This is more in line with more of a shade structure part over it. Belt bridge, and again the group, a group spinner. Uh, 2D, yeah, again, the large play area. This one has the tall slide, so very tall. It does have the double slide on the 2 to 5. The group swing, very similar to the other one. Climbing ropes, rings, and nature panels on it as well. So next slide, Ashley. So anyone online, again, if you can vote in the comment section for 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, and any comments, that would be great. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a good point. So the question was, yeah, on some of these, I'll call them shade elements, whether the flower or whether it's a shade structure type. What's the longevity and how are they going to look over time? Yeah, I mean the color ones will fade over time. There's a guarantee. I'm not sure what it is on it, but I would bet it's at least 10, if not 15 years that's supposed to hold color on it. You're absolutely right, though. The more like natural, it still would fade, but you're not going to notice it as much. So there is a trade-off on it, that yes, over time that may fade. Most parks, believe it or not, I mean, the turnarounds, like 20, 25 years of new stuff coming out, or they become uncompliant at that time. So it doesn't quite make it to that. So you got to live with it for a little bit of time before. Yeah. So type. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. So the last part that we'll go over. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, so they have to be ADA compliant. So there's a transfer station on all of them. And there'll be ADA access to that transfer station. Yeah. Did you have a question too? Okay. So the last part that we're going to look at is the different concepts for the seating areas between the two options. So seating area option A, again, the meditation area is pretty much the same. This is a little bit more curvilinear area with where the benches are. And then the big difference on these ones is the two picnic areas. So on this one, we split the picnic areas up. On the image on the left, there's picnic tables to the north of the tennis court and pickleball courts. And then we also added additional kind of seating area to the west of the restroom, or to the left of the restroom. That's in the bottom right image. So it's just below the play area, and a couple benches in there. So, and then option 2 has all the picnic area either to the north or the east, or to the north and east of the tennis court area. And then it's a little bit more angular, not as curvilinear as the other one. Again, just trying to get your guys' feedback on what kind of is more pleasing to your eye within there. Both do have bench seating kind of north of the play area. And then with this one also, we put in a seat wall in the play area. Additionally, as I mentioned before, in both options, there will be a seat wall in the round meditation area to the northwest of the tennis courts. We have a couple options that we can show you. Oh, I think I have it here at the end here. Yeah, so online you can vote for option A or B. So yeah, the meditation area. So we have a couple options of being either, more of either like a concrete solid bench. Again, if you're familiar with Katahdin, we put the round one in. They also had existing concrete, kind of circular concrete benches. It could be more of a stone with a cap on it, and or maybe a wood bench, which could tie into with maybe the other benches. The city standard bench is metal, but there are options with the wood that we used out at Katahdin as well. So. No, we can vote on that too, or we'll yeah. We do have a board, so we can let you guys vote on that as well. So if you have a preferred option of that, we can do that. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, you get both, just different. So usually on the cement, you're getting more of the graffiti. With usually the benches, the concrete benches and things like that, there is a product we do spec to put on it that helps. It makes it a little easier to take off, but I'm sure Damien can tell you that it's not that easy. And then the wood ones you get, unfortunately, the carving. So I don't know if you guys have statistics specifically or.
So not statistics really, but we like in Cotati Park, I'm not aware of any significant graffiti problems, but when you have the flat concrete, it definitely gives graffiti artists a potential canvas if that becomes, so that could become potentially more graffiti prone. If it's faced in like a natural stone, it's a little less prone to being tagged and certainly less visible when it is tagged because there's just more going on with the face of it. It's not just a flat piece of concrete. And then the wood, like you said, it's just more susceptible to people carving into it and that sort of thing, more than graffiti. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about the only thing that's kind of happened out there, right? Yeah. 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 If it's bad enough though, yeah, usually you can actually just replace the slat. You don't have to replace the whole bench. So, yeah. Okay. So again, online, if you want to vote for option 1 or option 2. Okay. Okay. So I think with that, kind of maybe open it up to questions. Then if you guys would like, let's all go over to the boards and have a 1-on-1 or 8-on-2 conversation. Yes, that's the plan to clear all that out. Yeah. Low growing plants. Yep. Yeah. Again, we want to keep stuff low so you have the visibility into the park. Yeah. It'll be removed. We'll take a look at them to see the health of them. Yeah. Yeah, as long as they're healthy and stuff like that, we'll definitely keep those. I do know that we looked at maybe the 2 as you come into the parking lot area that we may take those out. They're not in very good health. You also have the overhead line, so it's not. Yeah. 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 Nothing that's going to get too large. Yeah, we're aware. I think we've been out there and we're aware that there are some of the units on that side that do have solar panels. So we're aware of that. We're not going to block the solar, at least any tree that's on the park side. We don't have control of anything on the other side. So yeah, we're conscious of all that stuff. So nothing too large. It's probably going to be more accent, at least on that side, south facing where we can get shade tree, more spread than necessarily height though on it. So we're getting shade out there as well. So. Yeah, unless there's any other specifics, we can go up there and what's that? Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, I missed it. So, yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, yes, yeah. Dog waste stations, definitely. Okay. So yeah, sorry, Ashley was saying, I'm going to cover this just so when we get done with, going over that, we don't have to come back, you know, we can kind of just disperse as you guys feel comfortable with. So the last part is that there is an online poll that's up and running. So if you have additional comments that you want to post, please go onto the online survey and do that. It's on the city website, or you can scan the QR code there on your phone. That'll be up through around the end of March, you know, depending on feedback that we get. Yeah. It's still going to be determined a bit. It's going to be a bit on budget. It'll be ADA compliant, but based on budget, if we have the budget, we'll probably try to do the resilient surfacing. But depending on the budget, it'll depend on how much we can do on that or not. So. On the play equipment? Yeah, it's just to delineate the area. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, so sorry I didn't repeat that, but yeah, so the grass area, as was discussed last meeting, was to leave it as is, so it doesn't become a more of a sports thing. It's still more passive active area, but not a super active area. Yeah, 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 yeah. And you know, yeah, it sounded to me like, you know, actually the kids like it maybe a little bit because yeah, it's a little slope to it and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
One thing that was being proposed.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So we are proposing a low fence along East Cotati, at least the turf area, just again to help if kids are playing on that they're not running out into East Cotati. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I mean, it's probably more of a visual, but I mean, again, it gives the parents maybe a little head start to catch them if they're going out. So, so again, back on this, once we get all the polling questions in, we'll review the responses. Those will get posted on the city website, so you'll be able to see what comes out of this workshop. And then we'll be developing a final concept plan that will also be posted on the website, on the city website. Yeah, so yeah, either concept or whatever, we will be doing some new signage out there. You know, obviously the typical park hours, what you can do and things like that, but additionally the parking as well. So, and I think noise came up as well. So that should go with the park hours though of the noise levels. No amplified music. So, So I guess with that, if you guys would like to come up to the boards and have some look at them and definitely ask additional questions. We do have some stickers. I think Olga's got some stickers for you. I think we need to give them 5 now. Yeah, she caught on. Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, just on which ones you like. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah, they've already voted.